Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to share some really good news for Palantir. So if you're a holder of the stock PLTR or the high yield versions from YieldMax or Roundhill, then you'll definitely want to hear this news. But before I do, please smash that like button so the algorithm gods know that I'm here, and hit subscribe if you're new so that whenever I go live, where I talk about finance news, stocks, or investing, you'll be notified, or I publish a video like this one, which is just informational in nature. With that out of the way, guys, let's get into that juicy news. All right, so some of you guys may already know that I own a pretty sizable position in PLTW, which is from Roundhill. So the underlier is Palantir. And whenever I hear about Palantir, I like to cover it because, as an investor in, something related to Palantir, I want to know what's going on. So there was some really good news that just dropped. Palantir was awarded $795 million from the U.S. Army. This is huge, all right? And this is for their Maven Smart System. The U.S. Army has basically been using the Maven Smart System for the last couple of years, and now they want to up the ante. They want more, software licenses, more hardware, and, they're going to get all that tech support, all that kind of high-end tech that goes along with it. So this is a really big deal. This is a really good tailwind for Palantir, the stock, because they're almost at $1 billion. This contract in total is worth upwards of about $1 billion anyways. So now we're already halfway in the year, and they're just absolutely killing it. Palantir is on a complete rip. They just keep winning new contract after contract after contract, partnership after partnership. And it's not just the government, right? That's the thing that is misleading a lot of people, is that Palantir is not just winning contracts from the government. They're winning contracts from, the commercial sector. And I'm going to cover that here in just a moment to give you an idea. But this is essentially what the Maven Smart System kind of looks like, right? It just paints a really good picture of the battlefield for, ground forces or people who are using it. And I'm not going to go into, the ethics of any of this. I'm just going to give you kind of a high level of why this is such an amazing system and why it's being adopted more and more by the DoD. But anyways, the Palantir Maven Smart System is an AI-powered platform developed for the U.S. Department of Defense that rapidly analyzes drone footage, satellite imagery, and battlefield data to identify threats in real time, right? What does that kind of sound like? Well, that kind of sounds like a video game, right? You, as, the player, you're able to control your, army. You'll be able to identify threats. You'll be able to move them. You can, you're using some type of bird's eye view of everything. So that's essentially what this Maven Smart System is doing for our military, for the U.S. military, right? It is a very powerful software, and it's no surprise that the Army or even the government is going to want more of this for their individual branches, right? So really, really cool. This is just a concept of what it could be, right? This is what, an idea of what it could be. It's got the hardware loaded inside. It's got the, analysts in there. It's got the combat commander. It's got everybody in this little tiny room, because this is what, it could have looked like way back in the day, right? In order to own the battlefield, the area, you needed to hire hundreds of people, right? Soldiers, DA civilians, contractors, in order to do this type of operation, in order to handle, a ground attack and things like that. But now with, the project, or with the Maven Smart System, you can do it with just a few people, right? Again, this is just artificial intelligence. The point I'm trying to make here is that artificial intelligence is improving everywhere, across all sectors, across everything. And this is why I'm very bullish on companies that are heavily invested into artificial intelligence, companies like NVIDIA, companies like Palantir. All right, so with that out of the way, let's talk about other things of what Palantir is doing, because a lot of people think that this is just all that they're involved with, video games. No, but more to the point, they think they're just involved in, providing battlefield software to the military, but that's not the case. They are actually working on a lot of new partnerships that are outside of the scope of government. They're working on partnerships that affect, the financial services firm or financial services sector, right? They're breaking into manufacturing. They're doing all this other type of stuff where their software can be utilized. And again, I really think Palantir has a lot of room to grow. I know there's a bear case out there saying that the valuation, the metrics for Palantir are way too overbloated, and it will eventually come down to earth. But I'm of the camp that I think Palantir is going to continue to run up. I could honestly see Palantir continuing to run up for the remainder of the year. Now, of course, we still have, the pending recession. We have all this tariff stuff we still have to work through. But, good thing is the recent Saudi Arabia trip that Palantir was at, that could be seen as a huge tailwind because now their software is breaking into that area. And Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and what was that other country? Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates. Huge financial services area, right? Huge. All right. So I think they have a lot of tailwinds behind them. All right. So let's look at one of them, right? This is from Societe Generale. This is a huge European bank, and they won a partnership with them, with Palantir and Societe Generale, to basically look for financial crime, right? To help root out financial crime. And again, this is just another use case for Palantir and why that software is so powerful, right? We have another one. Palantir and TWG Global announced a joint venture to deploy the AI program across financial services and insurance. Huge. All right. Again, this is just another use case for Palantir. It's not just for the Department of Defense or government. It could be used for manufacturing. It could be used for, creating workflows. It's just a really powerful software. Here's another one. All right. Today, back in, what was this? May 6th, I think. May 6th. XAI, TWG Global, and Palantir unite to redefine the financial services through enterprise AI. Right, huge. That is a big partnership, right? That's Musk's XAI and TWG Global, which is a huge player in the space. So again, Palantir just keeps winning these partnerships, keeps winning these contracts, and this is all good tailwinds for the business, for the stock. All right, so if you guys are curious about those other two high yield ETFs, you have two options. You have PLTY from YieldMax, which is a option income strategy. All right. They recently paid a $7 dividend per share, which is ridiculous. That is really, really cool. So shout out to anyone who got that distribution, right? It should have updated right here, but it hasn't yet. But shout out to anyone holding PLTY. Just congratulations. All right. So if you're bullish on the stock and you want to make some high levels of income, you can consider PLTY from YieldMax. All right. The other one, which is the one I hold, is PLTW, which is a weekly pay ETF from Roundhill, right? This one's giving you a 1.2x or 120% exposure to Palantir, the stock. So I like this one. This is my favorite one. I'm not saying PLTY is bad because it's a really good ETF, all things considered. So I would definitely have these two as a top contender if anyone's interested. All right, you guys can check this out yourself and make your own educated decision. This one's pumping out about a 62% distribution yield, whereas PLTY is hovering around 86%. So with that being said, guys, I hope you got a lot of value from this. All right. I hope you really enjoyed the video. Again, I really think Palantir it's doing super, super well. You can't stop this company. You can't stop this company. You can't stop the stock. It's just continuously innovating. It's finding new ways to break into other different markets. And again, I think if anything, this company is going to have way more tailwinds than it would headwinds because, we look at the whole tariff thing. We're looking at tariffs and what it's actually impacting. It's impacting goods and services, right? Mostly goods, excuse me. It's impacting physical goods, right? From shipping or exporting or importing into the country. Now with software, completely different. Software pretty much is a level above that. It can be downloaded by a computer. It can get past tariffs. It's almost a tariff, resistant type of asset where you don't have to worry about tariffs, right? Unless there's some type of regulation out there, maybe an export control by the U.S. government to prevent Palantir from going into all these other different areas. I could see that as, a possible headwind, but if we keep looking at Palantir, they just keep killing it, right? And again, they just keep killing it with other partnerships, and these are global partnerships. These are in the EU, right? It's crazy, and they're going to continue pumping out new partnerships as time goes on. So I'm really bullish on the stock. I'm really bullish on the company, and I am bullish on the whole AI thesis. So with that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, I hope you got a lot of value from this. Let me know down below. Are you invested in Palantir? Do you like the stock? Do you like PLTW? Do you like PLTY, from YieldMax or Roundhill? Are you invested in these? Do you think Palantir might hit the brakes soon? I don't know. You guys let me know. Interested to hear your thoughts. I will see you in the next video. Take care.